So hey everyone, I'm Nia from Flix Talk. I don't have Flix Talk on, or actually I do, but it won't show with my screen behind me. So this is just a off the wall, impromptu video, um, talking about you know one of my favorite jobs that I had back in the '90s, where I worked in a movie theater. So it was a 10 screen theater. Yeah, it was run by Carmike Cinemas, and it was in '94. It was ranked one, I think, in the top 10 most busiest theaters in the country because we had movies like The Lion King and The Firm and Forrest Gump, and of course those were high box office successes. So, but there's a reason why I'm doing this video, but it's going to take me just a little bit before I get there. So just bear with me, okay? See, working in movie theater is really fun, okay? Especially when you're in high school. When I started in '92, I was a senior in high school. It was fun, okay? And, I worked all areas of the theater. I worked in the box office, worked in the concession stand. I was usher, door person, whichever you want to call it. Tore your tickets, tell you where the theater is, where your movie is. Kept the lobby clean. They also clean the auditoriums and the restrooms and stuff. So, projection booth was my favorite place to work. And then I was in management as well, which I did everything anyway. So, but, that being said, with the movies today versus movies of even in the 90s or even early 2000s, they have changed. You go to a movie theater now, and the experience just isn't the same as it was like in the 90s. So I'm just going to pick on the 90s, okay, when I worked in theater. Because when I worked in the theater, and this is pretty much, the title of this video, is I worked with film. And today, you could see, this is a frame, obviously. But if you see over here, that's the soundtrack of the film. And those, of course, are the frames. And this is actually just the end credits of a trailer of actually Wes Craven's New Nightmare. But, so you can see it's not evenly spliced right here, or even on the other side, because it was from a break. So I was like, you know what? This makes a good, hey, put this in a book or whatever, but, back in the 90s, and even in the early 2000s, or maybe even 2000, my Alexa better shut up, she's listening, so, she's like talking, man, conspiracy, anyway, shut up. So look, you can't even see it in my background. Anyway, so this is why, right here, it's film. I prefer film versus the digital that is out today, and I'm going to tell you why. I've had some experiences with the digital film, in the theaters, past several years. So, starting, the most recent was back in October, and then there was one like a year or two before that. So here's the problem. You think a movie in digital, when you go to a movie, like I'm going to use this as an example. Back in October, I saw 2 movies. In one day, I saw Halloween Kills, and then I saw older film, a film that came out 30 years ago. They were having some kind of like 30th anniversary or something, right? Of Silence of the Lambs. So I went and saw Silence of the Lambs again on the big screen. But here's the problem. It being in digital, or actually DVR, that's what it is now. Instead of back in the 90s and before, when movies were on film, they were given to the theater in these big metal cans Most movies came in 2 cans, about 5, 6 reels, each, because each reel represented about 20 minutes of film. Unless you have Titanic or Braveheart or any other like 3+ hour film, and it's like 3 or 4 cans, but still. Silence of the Lambs didn't start on time. I figured, okay, hey, older film, they weren't going to put any trailers on there, so they were going to start it late. Fine. But when they did start the movie, it was already 20 minutes into the film, if not longer. It's already after Clarice Starling went and saw Hannibal Lecter for the first time. And we're like, wait a minute. I paid more movie to see that older film than I did Halloween Kills. Which makes no sense to me, but hey. It's a good film. It's worth it. I ended up getting my money back, but I did stay and watch it. The rest of it. But you think, it being in digital or DVR, if you can restart a movie, if you already started a movie and you want to start it again, like on a streaming service, Netflix or whatever, it says either, resume playing or start from the beginning. You think they could start from the beginning in the movie theater. I mean, if it's, within 30 minutes of the movie itself starting, because I used to work in a movie theater. I know when they kind of have the show times. They have plenty of time. As of lately, they have plenty of time to do that. Plus, have time to clean between shows and before the next show starts. So they could have totally done it if it's digital, if it's DVR. You can just rewind it. Film, you cannot rewind. So I totally get you can't do this. Digital, there should be a little perks in digital. You should be able to rewind it. Start it over, stop it, start over. Start where the movie starts. You can bypass the previews, but totally get why you can't do this. Trust me. You can't rewind that, but, digital, come on. I mean, there's got to be a way. That's why I so prefer film versus digital. I miss the days, actually, having to leave. So sorry, I thought someone was coming. Anyway, I miss the days of actually leaving the theater to go complain, say, hey, it's the movie it's out of focus, it's out of frame, the sound isn't right. I mean, I remember those complaints working at the theater. And most of those complaints actually aren't really real complaints, because those are easy to fix. Customer tells the employee tells management, and boom, it's done within a matter of a few minutes. But then sometimes, there's complaints is a little bit out of control of the employee, but those are easy fixes. Today, it's like everything's automatically in frame, it's focused, everything's great. So I'm like, that's a perk right there for being a digital, but doing a little research, doing, what's the differences between film and digital, that you're actually missing stuff in digital than you are in film. Film actually picks up more, which you think would be the other way around, but it's not. So I actually was scratching my head on that one, trying to think, how is that possible? That's kind of weird. You think it would be the other way around, that digital would pick up more, but no. Some people prefer film, or some people prefer like vinyl records versus CDs, or downloading. I'm just one of those old schoolers, dude. Bring back the film. I tell you, I think the last movie I saw on film was actually a movie that came out. It was made and came out before I was born. I was lucky enough to see, I think, one of the only 3 copies of Existence at that time. Went to the film festival downtown Birmingham, and at the Alabama Theater, which is a really cool theater. So at the film festival, I was going to go and see Tobe Hooper's 1974's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And they were saying some trivia and some stuff, facts, whatever, beforehand. And they said, this print, because I saw it on film, it wasn't digital. They got one of the 3 prints of existence of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Because Tobe Hooper had one. He has since passed. May he rest in peace. But, and then there's 2 other ones that were floating around. And at that time, we had, right here at the Alabama Theater, had a copy. So there was one other copy floating around somewhere of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, I don't know which was, it was good. Sometimes the crackling or whatever in the film is cool. It's just, sometimes, as well as on vinyl record, you kind of hear a little crackling, and then the music starts. That's kind of really cool sound. Kind of, some people like that sound, some people don't. Generation of today is really missing out on a lot, if you ask me. Like, my niece and nephews, I don't think they'll ever see a movie on film unless they specifically go and see one on film. It's not like they just go to a movie theater and ta-da, it's a film one. No, it's going to be digital. And more and more, I think more and more film companies are just, streaming it on TV. To me, it's the experience of going to the movie theater. Going, see it on a huge screen, sitting down, having, you have to spend the money. That's why you don't go like every week or whatever, like I did. Or, I did that for a while. And of course, it does add up. But when you work in a movie theater for like much of the 90s, like I did, I saved a lot of money. A lot of money on movies. Because I saw a lot of free movies. And most of the time, I was able to get free drinks and free popcorn. There's a few times I actually, I said, I want to go pay for a movie, which is weird, but hey, sometimes you work in a movie theater, movie company, you want to go to the competitor to see a movie, and of course you have to pay for that, and sometimes I did do that. I was just like, let's go somewhere different. I don't want to go to Carmack, let's go somewhere else, please. Which I did. So, people know what I'm talking about. You get so used to of your own company, go to a competitor for a change for a moment. It's like sometimes a little bit different experience, sometimes a little bit better. Then at the same time, you kind of spy on them and say, hey, they do this instead of this, or that instead of that, or we should do this, and we should do that, and we should do this, or you get your own ideas, copy them, or say, ooh, they do that. Why do they do that? That's stupid. You see how they operate versus how you operate. Ta-da. So. But, with this COVID stuff going around, I thought the drive-ins would make a major comeback. I don't think our drive-ins here have opened yet, which makes 0 sense. That would be the perfect time to open up, is during COVID. The drive-ins. Come on. You're confined in your own space, in your car. And yet they're like, closed still. Okay, whatever. Scratch your head. But yeah, this is. So, which do you prefer? Do you prefer film or do you prefer digital? Why? Why do you prefer what you prefer? I loved making up and breaking down movies. You get to take a splicer. Get the tape, splice it. I actually have a splicer my sister gave me, but it was a totally different one than I used at the theater. I think the one that she gave me was an older one. But still, it's cool. But yeah, this right here, I would like movies to make a comeback in film. I understand it may cost more money to make these, to develop. Make copies to develop. I get it. Digital is just, hey, you film it and boom, you just send it off in a little file. Instead of being built up, it's already built for you pretty much, right? So then there's like no use for a projectionist. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I go to a movie theater now, go to the movies, and it's always something missing. And maybe that's it. Maybe it's because it's digital, not film. So, the good old days, right? Yeah, 90s wasn't that too far long ago. But, I mean, I guess just have to deal with it, deal with what today offers, and just remember the past, whether it be good, bad, whatever. But movies. I love movies. And, you know me, way behind in my movie watching, if you ask me. There's a lot that I need to see. I just come to the point where I start a movie and I fall asleep. Do you guys have that same problem? Like last night, I was rewatching a movie I've seen like years ago, but it's a Lucio Fulci, Italian film. It's a horror film, and I slept through the gory parts. It's Italian horror, so it's gonna be gory. And Fulci, yeah, he's has a thing for the eyes. God, every single movie of his is something goes through the eye or goes through the head. Eye. God. Anyway, it could be in 3D. It should be in 3D. Whatever happened to 3D? All of a sudden, 3D movies, they're not there anymore. They made a whole bunch of them for years, and then all of a sudden, they stopped. No 3D. But yeah, dude, I fell asleep through like Zombie. Came out in 79, 80. Heard the screams. I think I incorporated that in my little, dream that I had. But yeah, by the time I woke up, it was over, back in New York City, and they went to this island where everything happened, and that's pretty much where I fell asleep. The beginning New York scenes, I was awake for, is when they went to the island, fell asleep, and then at the tail end when the credits were rolling, like yeah. But anyway, movies, film versus digital. What do you like? What do you prefer? You know where I stand. I think I said it multiple times, and it's behind me. So, there are perks. With digital, there's perks, advantages, cons and pros in each one. Guess you just kind of have to weigh, woohoo, you're like, you're weigh. It's just weigh them out, see which is better. But, if I ever, here's a little short story. When I went to go see The Breakfast Club at the theater, we had to move from the auditorium where it was originally going to play to another one because they said they had problems with their DVR. So so that's the thing, is like the older films are being DVR'd, probably the newer ones as well. Just send it to you, and then we'll just like send it to assign it to the auditorium number, and that's how movies are played now, I guess. They still have projectors, but you don't have someone go up there and start. I still know how to, thread and lace and thread a projector, so. And of course, working in a movie theater, great for high school and college age kids. And plus, you get promotional items like buttons, hats, shirts, posters, banners, Mylars, which now I don't think they really make Mylars too much anymore, so. But I have big thing of Mylars, whether they're the small ones for the box office or the bigger ones for above the auditorium. Now they don't even put even the LED signs. They don't even say what it is anymore. In the theaters down here where I go, it's just a number. It's like, look at your ticket. Okay, I'm on number 3. Number 3. Say, okay, this better be the correct movie. Gotta go by the number, not by, okay, your movie is in this, or this is over here. So, just like we had the title of the name, the title of the movie above the auditorium door when I worked. Ta-da! Look. Whatever. You're going to go see, okay, while you're sleeping, there it is. It was in Auditorium 5, I remember that. One of the biggest theaters. Yeah. See, we kind of made fun of the title. Before I saw the movie, we made fun of the title. And then after I saw the movie, I was like, hey, that's pretty good. Don't make fun of that title while you're sleeping. Anyway, hey, film! I am Team Film. I need to get me a shirt say Team Film. Someone else can have Team Digital, but I am TF, baby. Team Film. Notice I'm going to do a little bit more videos, maybe put some on TikTok, but I am just going to maybe open up to other subjects, like I'm using, maybe true crime or conspiracy theories or more movies or just things that are getting on my nerves in today's world, and just go, rah! Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.